You're in the lead.
What is up, guys? My name is Timbo, and today GameInformer released an article alongside a video regarding a lot of Taken King news. While there is a lot more additional information in the article, I'm going to pick apart the video and show you some things that I noticed because I'm not the biggest fan of reading. After I'm done talking, I'll let you see the video in its entirety so you can see what I was talking about. Okay. So in the beginning of the video, Luke Smith says that the release of Destiny gave him a different feeling than any other game did, and it wasn't exactly a good different. This to me confirms that he knew that Destiny would have the response it did because it was not the game that was shown off to be. Now, of course, he's going to say they messed up and now they're going to make improvements because that just sounds good to people. However, these statements are the same ones we heard regarding improvements to story and missions and mechanics with the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. And we all know how that panned out. So, while this may seem good on the surface, I'm hopeful but still not convinced that the game will dramatically change in ways we've wanted it to. Even though in the video they specifically address we've added, you know, the missions are going to feel different, the mechanics are going to feel different, stuff like that. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So after this, you see a Guardian holding the 347 Vesta Dynasty running into the Dreadnought. After that, we see a familiar place in Crota's End Raid. It makes sense that we'd be returning to this location with Oryx being Crota's father, and that they'd be tied into this story somehow together. However, what is going on is confusing. Here we see what looks to be a PvE mission because there's a darkness zone where a Guardian is in third person and is also invisible. Now this doesn't seem too weird except for the fact that the subclass being used at the bottom left does not look like the Blade Dancer. So my guess is that maybe in this Striker mission any Guardian can turn invisible, or there looks to be some sort of relic in front of him, and it's very weird indeed. And quickly after that, there is another exotic weapon that was supposed to be in the House of Wolves, the Fate of All Fools, being used on Phobos maybe. You can tell by the sight that it is not the similar looking Stranger's Rifle, and it also does arc damage and looks to have 24 rounds in the magazine. And lastly, there's a quick shot of Saturn, which looks to be a new location to visit. Now guys, here is where the big stuff comes in. After a quick glimpse of maybe a cutscene including the Shipwright and Hunter Vanguard guy, don't even ask me what I think their names are because they're not important, just like every other character in this game. A lot is said about character progression, and it's really interesting and different. I guess that's a good word to use. So, as of the Taken King, the new level cap will be 40, and it looks like light levels are going to be irrelevant, and progression will be solely based on experience, just like level 1 to 20 was way back at the beginning. So yes, it looks like you can have a maxed level character with all common white armor. However, defense and attack stats will still matter, so that's probably not going to be a very good idea. So I don't know if old exotics and old legendaries will become completely irrelevant now that it looks like you can't ascend them or at least increase their defense or attack stats. But I guess we'll just have to see about that too. Out of all of this is going to be the biggest change, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments below. Now, near the end of the video, you can see more of the Dreadnought, the Taken enemy faction, as well as a look at the new Strike. The most interesting thing to me was the short clip of the Warlock. Here, he's using his new super abilities on Harpies, which doesn't seem weird at all, except when you realize that the location of this event is the Crucible map Blind Watch on Mars. So this is either a story mission on a Crucible map, which would be incredibly weird, which it's probably not it, or maybe it's some sort of mini horde mode, Prison of Elders, and it just so happens to be on a Crucible map because they're not gonna build new locations and they're putting it on maps or something like that. I don't know. But that's really all the video has, so if you want to see the video without me talking in between, it'll be playing right after I get done talking, and there'll be a link down below to the article, which is a lot more of information that wasn't mentioned in this video, such as the Ghost is now supposedly not just going to be able to open doors, but will actually maybe help you learn more about the lore of Destiny, whatever that means. Maybe he'll read you a bedtime story of grimoire cards. Wee. Which, if it's that case, then that'll be a ton, oh my god, that will be a ton of dialogue to do for the king of voice acting, Nolan North, who will actually be taking over the role as the voice of the Ghost, not only for the Taken King, but apparently for Old Missions 2. So he's going to be completely replacing the Peter Dinklage lines. You're never going to hear them, ever again. So who knows how he will deliver these classic lines like, "You've woken the hive." But, maybe he will do it better than Peter Dinklage did because, he got a lot of crap for, phoning it in and whatever. Because, I mean, while the writing wasn't great, it didn't seem like he had much desire to do it anyway. So maybe Nolan North, an actual voice actor who does this all the time, might be able to deliver the lines better and make it more believable. But hopefully the writing is better for the Ghost anyway in the Taken King story missions. So thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. But that's all I got, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
There is no playbook written for how to develop Destiny.
So we had a lot of learning to do.
With other games that I've worked on at Bungie, you exhale when it comes out. When Vanilla launched last year, we were just starting to breathe. We gotta start fixing stuff.
So we've got a lot of cool new things coming in Taken King.
A little bit more variety, just a little bit more like gameplay variety, some different feelings during the missions.
When Taken King launches, a huge change is happening to the weapons and the armor across the board.
Oryx's arrival gives us context for the year. It's the ultimate in-player empowerment to say like, hey, that guy you beat up last year, Crota, the guy who you pulled the internet cable on, his dad's here and he's pissed.
We want those players who stopped at 20 to come back. We think they will. We've made improvements to the game, not just from an activities perspective in the story, but also like how that ramp works. This community of players, Destiny means something to them. They have these characters that they've created, and they care so much about them. Master Chief itself is a cool character, but like my Guardian is like way fucking cooler.
I play a lot. I haven't got a chance to do much else. The game has this like Siren's Call quality for me. Like, I love working on Destiny. I love ranting about Destiny because we have this opportunity to make it better.
We're really trying to make Destiny take a significant leap forward this fall. That's what we're here for. Like, that's why we wake up in the morning.